Welcome to System Dynamics Online Tutorials. In this session we're going to cover manual job confirmation within the manufacturing suite of Dynamic 3i. Manual job confirmation allows me to manually confirm the top product and control the transactions that are occurring for the finished products going into my inventories. When I first come into the application, I'm automatically put into query mode, asking me for what job I wish to do the manual job confirmation for. I could actually use a list of values here to show me all of the valid jobs within the system that I can do a confirmation for, and actually select the job. Or if I actually know it, just simply key it in. Query the record up, and what the system will do will show you the pertinent information of the job that's in the system. The product, the stocking unit of measure, whether it's a finished good or subcomponent or manufactured item. It will give the job status and any quantity that is currently issued to the system and still required. In this particular job, it can be seen that there has been issued 400, still required 0. So I will be able to see a transaction in here in a moment actually showing me where this 400 was issued from. And there's nothing stopping me by virtue of seeing these transactions of coming in here and doing another manual job confirmation for whatever reason to increase this. So this still required 0 is basically just telling me that for the quantity of the job that was entered, there is no more required against that job unless I actually want to put an issued quantity up against it. The actual material costs and actual labor costs are displayed by the system. They're work in process, so this job is still ongoing. And if I come down, this can be thought of as the bottom detail block. And if I actually come down into here, and I could do a query on this bottom block, or else I can just simply start doing a transaction for the job confirmation that I'm doing, which is actually what I'm going to do here, and then I'll show you the double transactions that occur on this afterwards. So if we come into this and we're doing a manual job confirmation for whatever reason against this job for this finished product, we simply come and tell the system, are we doing a stock prime movement, stocking seconds, or are we going out to a floor? Is this a scrap transaction? It allows me to tell the inventories what's occurring with this particular finished product coming into it. So we'll actually put this into a stock prime, and I'm going to then get the pertinent information about this product as soon as I do that. And it's asking me for the quantity of this product that's going to go into the inventories. So for whatever reason, let's say I know I've issued 400, but I actually have 10 extra ones in there, so I'm increasing the quantity by 10. And the include tells me that I want to, by default, automatically include this in issued. If this was a scrap transaction, I may not want to put the scrap in the issued quantity, or I have a choice. Since this is a stock prime, it's automatically defaulted to include into the issues. Again, I can flag this as the final transaction to actually make this particular job available for more confirmations or not. This final flag will control the ability to see this job on other applications. I can attach it to a specific crew. If this was coming down from a since this is a lot controlled item, as soon as I enter the quantity, the system automatically comes down and says what lot are you actually confirming the 10 of. I can actually I'm creating the actual lot here, so the lot that I'm confirming, I assign my internal lot code however I want to define that, and I actually give the expiry date of that lot to the system, and the system will now come down to whether I'm taking this transaction to another job or to if this is going off to another job, because I can issue finished goods off to another job and to another area, or even to a work center. This is so now it's asking me to include or not include this in this area, and then it asks me if this is the final transaction against this particular application or not. I can then associate it with a certain crew for information only. There are reports on the system which will pull jobs and transactions by a certain crew to a certain tag or on a certain machine. This is information only. If I had a couple of crews and I was always associating this transaction for these items manufactured to crew number 1, simply enter in that crew. Likewise with a tag, internally associating it with a certain tag. Again, just key that in, and again with a particular machine. Not mandatory. These fields will not be required. They're for tracking purposes and a couple of reports if I actually want to pull out jobs produced on by a certain crew to a certain tag or associated with a certain machine. Simply committing this to the database now, I'm actually going to increase my inventories for a quantity issued of 10 of the finished product. But it's important to note here with manual job confirmation, I'm not going to relieve the inventories for the material used to create this 10. Manual job confirmation only acts on the top product, unlike automatic job confirmation where it looks at the subcomponents, relieves the inventories there, and does automatic material usage. This is a total manual application here, and it's dealing only with the top product. So we can save this to the database and get the transaction committed. And then we notice that this is transaction 2, which is what I was talking about in the beginning of the tutorial. If we actually put the bottom half here into a query mode and query up the transactions, we'll see first transaction was the quantity of 400 coming into the stock, and it was taken care of either manually in here or by automatic job confirmation. It could have been. Either way, it produces a transaction against the finished product in here. And we can see that the issued quantity increased from 400 to 410 due to our second transaction, which we can actually use the record down here to see the second transaction. So this manual job confirmation, I can actually come in and see all of the transactions that make up any of this issued quantity in here. And that concludes the manual job confirmation.